Hello. Hello. Um, Welcome to my class. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about lifestyle. And for me, I'm going to be cutting across every area, every inspiration that comes to my attention, and every questions that comes to my attention that I do get from different people thereabouts. So I'm not just going to be focusing in just one place. And you'll be seeing me here, there, and that. So please accept me just like that, because I have a lot that I think I can offer to ourselves, to one another, and to especially those younger ones coming behind us. I'm so passionate, and for them not to make the same kind of mistakes we, the older ones, have made. And then if we say our parents haven't done enough, I think we're supposed to look at what we think they haven't done enough of, and then do what? Escalate it further. And then use what they've achieved to also do what? To build ourselves further and do better than them. And that will be their joy at all time. That will be their joy. They will always be happy, and we should always stand there to appreciate them also at every given time. Because if they did not lay the foundation, you will never know whatever mistake you're supposed to work on. Or you will never know whatever success you're supposed to work on. So sometimes, stop blaming them. Don't be naive. The musicians that you all collaborate with today, or you appreciate today, don't ever think they're better than those older ones. Those older ones started it. That's when the younger ones could listen and grow with it and see what they can do better. Bring in more instruments, engage in more finances, and that helps them to be able to do better than those older ones. If those older ones have not started, it will be very difficult for you to see them more attractive than them. So don't be naive, don't be foolish, don't be childish to throw accusing finger to the older ones. They were our foundations. Without them, we would be nowhere. And that's why we want to be foundation also to the younger ones coming. So therefore, these questions often come to me by the younger couple who just get married. They do ask me, my wife, that this issue of children, how do they go about it? Do we think children should be given birth to at distance level, like spacing the years between your children for probably be able to achieve a lot of things, like having your children 5 years in between each other, 3 years in between each other, some of them 5, some of them 2, some are 3, thereabout, And then some of them says, is it also wise to have them as quickly as possible? Which one do you people think, with your experience and others, family, friends, experiences, and with what they engage themselves into in terms of business or working career? Both are the same. It's just that we have more responsibility for another. The business owners have more responsibility than someone with a working career. Okay? Because the bulk of the whole company lies on the business owner. While the other person, the bulk of the whole company lies on the shoulder of his own boss. So those are just different, but when you look at it, they work together. Okay? But, well, like I always say to them, and a lot of people have practiced what my partner and I have advised, and they've come back to actually appreciate the advice we have given so many years ago, recent years, and then we have even forgotten that we advised them on such line. And then I felt that it would be very kind of me to also push it out there for those that probably will not have any contact with me forever. Let them also benefit from that advice that have helped a lot of young couples coming after us, using our experience and other people's experience to help themselves, and they were able to practice it, and then they realized it was great. And some did not yield to that advice, and then they saw where they ended up. So that's why I say it might be a good advice for you, since you are just starting, so that you will not make the type of mistake people like us probably had made, thinking that it's going to work, and it never works. Especially when you are a working class person. Your wife, yourself are going to be a working class person. Even though one of you are not, is planning to be. Do you understand? So, and then for over the years, we've been able to evaluate the difference between the two. Spacing the years between your children, or having them as quickly as possible. Which one is better? For me, with the experience I've had so far, so many years, with those ahead of me, with me and peers around me, and those that we've also given this advice to, for me, I've come to a conclusion that having your children as quickly as possible within a space year is actually better than spacing the years in between your children. Sometimes I cannot blame those who actually space their children. Sometimes it was planned for, sometimes it wasn't planned for. Circumstances, situations make those kind of couple did what they did. They could not do anything, to rescue, even though they didn't want to plan it like that. The circumstances that faces them, the kind of beast that faces marriage, faced them at that particular time, and they could not do anything about it. Because sometimes distance can cause issues. Finance can make you do what you don't want to do. Lack of finance can make you do a different plan other than the plan you had. Okay? So, but when you want to look at it generally, holistically, that everything is in place, I will be advising having your children as quickly as possible, whichever way you can, is better than spacing them. And I'll tell you advantage and disadvantage of them. Let's take advantage of spacing your children and disadvantage of spacing your children. Okay, good. Spacing your children, helps you to be able to walk in between and be able to get some things done. But the moment you have another child again, after a number of years, you kind of like, having your first child to be able to help you with the second child, because there are about a period of 5 years in between them. Somehow, there will be the small boy here or the small girl here will help you to go and take feeding bottle there, take nappy there, take towel there, take soap there, and all that. to be able to help the baby. In fact, he'll be helping you to even pampering the baby sometimes. And you'll be so happy. Oh, wow, well done. You're doing so well for your sibling. In fact, when the baby is crying while you're in the kitchen, we say, Mommy, baby is crying. Daddy, baby is crying. You say, okay, can you try to rock the cradle for the child? He could still try and help you to rock the baby, the cradle. And you'll be happy that you're doing yourself a lot good. Okay? And as they are growing older, the younger ones will be learning ahead from the older ones. The mistakes the older one is making, the younger ones will be trying everything possible, even without being able to express himself or herself. Will be trying everything possible to avoid those mistakes. Why? Because the younger ones have started hearing you right from pregnancy, when they were inside, how you were correcting, shouting on his older sibling. And by the time he comes to this world, you just realize that he does things more faster than the older one. It is as a result of all what he's been hearing, seeing, going up and down like that. I remember my second child, when he was in a cradle at the living room, when we were going up and down, as young as he was, his eyes is like a CCTV on everyone passing. And when we are talking as well, probably we station ourselves in one place talking, he will be daring at you people like this. That eyes will not leave the spot of where you people are. If you want to know, just move. You see his eye travel with you people as well. And I realized that truly and truly, everything, when he started to do things by himself, he was doing it like doing it fast. So, and I think that actually, and I've come to relate this also with other family friends who happens to be in that same pattern or method. And they say the same thing. So with that, you don't need rock science to tell you, or soothsayers to tell you, or scientists to tell you. Okay? So this is how you connote things together sometimes, and you're able to realize that, yes, this is how it works. Because this is how history were built. Anyway, it was just like that. But guess what? What it does that, if you know, those are type of advantage this gives to you. When you space your child, there'll be your first child or second. Your first child will be a destiny helper to the younger ones for you. The second one also will be a destiny helper for the third one for you, and so on and so forth, depending on how many children you want to have, and also space. If at all you didn't discover that you should do it differently along the way. Some did it differently along the way, and they were able to see the differences within the same family. They were able to weigh the differences. Okay? Me, I did it. I did both, and I was able to see the differences. Some never did. Okay, so those are part of the advantages of that. But guess what? When you space your child for within themselves so many years, this actually debar you of moving forward faster in your business or in your working career, to slow you down, like as if you were cursed. Yeah, you are going to be so frustrated with that method to seriously slow you down. So many things you want to do, you will think twice of your children, because your life does not belong to you anymore now. It belongs to your children. So you will not be able to do them because it's there, naive, fragile, and vulnerable. Your job as a parent is to protect your child, because your child did not bring themselves to this world. You brought them, and you have to protect them, especially when they are still very, very young and still listening to you. You are supposed to protect them at all levels. So you will not be able to do some things that your mates are doing, or your colleagues at work, or your business rivals are doing, except you just don't want to build a better future for your children. Yes, because you have a leeway. If you are the type of parent who doesn't care, or the type of father or mother that doesn't care, and you want to be using maybe gifts, you understand now, in replacement of your time and effort, of course. But there are always results for every exam that you attend or you attempt. Okay? So those are the things about you will not be able to move as quickly as you can. You have drastically delayed yourself. Imagine you're having children in the last 10 years. Do you understand? They're going to grow again for another 10 years. Making how many years? 20 years. And that's minimum. Because remember, those subsequent children behind are going to be taking their years as well from you. You understand now? If you want to work the mathematics out, it's going to be very confusing because they share part of the years. Okay? And why some of them single-handedly have some of the years to themselves, especially the firstborn, then the lastborn. But in between, from the firstborn and in between and the lastborn, they share part of the years together. So at the end of the day, you will end up spending like probably 20 to 30 years nursing your child, not making you to move forward. And then you will have lost a lot of things. Before you know it, age is no longer on your side. So it's like you have given all your career, your life, the achievement you're supposed to achieve. You have practically sold the birthright to your children in order to nurse them to be a better person than yourself. But you will now lose all those things you're supposed to achieve, all those careers you're supposed to build. And then you see your mates building them, succeeding, but you will not be succeeding because you do not have the quality time to be able to put in that particular job or business. Do you understand? I will just, flash into it. I'm going to treat it later. A lot of people do not know that a job or a business is another child. What did I say again? A job or a business, it is another child. In fact, if not careful, it is even more important. Is a child that you cannot toy with. Is even much more ahead of any of your physical human being children. That is what your job or your business is. But guess what? When you don't create a quality time for that business or that job also, you can't move forward as the way you're supposed to move forward. You're made to be getting promoted. You will not. Your business is supposed to be moving. Your mates will be pushing their business from point A to B. You will not, because you are spacing your children. Okay? And then you get frustrated and you think something is, you think you are doing something very, very, very wrong, that probably enemy is working against you. There's no enemy anywhere working against you. That's another topic for another day. Anyway, so that I can say. I can wrap up with that. Then the other part where you don't space your children, you have your children within a period of probably 3 years or maximum of 5. Depending on how many children you want to have. Everybody differs on how many children they want to bring into this wicked, frustrated world. Then we further populate the world in a colossal standstill situation or status. And then we come back in return complaining about our government, about our society, about ourselves, about us not being able to give or to achieve all what we want to achieve in life. Meanwhile, we do not know that we are the major problem, the enemies of ourselves. Okay? So let me go into the other side. The advantage and disadvantage of this one is that I will start with the disadvantage of not spacing your child. The issue is that if you are not spacing your child, your wife is going to be totally locked down for the next 3 years. If you both want to have like probably 3 children, in the next 3 to 4 years, it's going to be like carrying. It's just going to be in a state of inconveniency. It's going to be like he's falling sick. Like he's in sickness for 3 to 4 years. That's the way your woman is going to feel. I don't expect you to understand as a man. Majority of men do not understand what their women go through. Especially a virtuous woman, a very good woman, a supporting pillar called a woman. A lot of men don't understand it and they don't want to. It's quite unfortunate anyway. So she's going to feel sick, like illness, for the next 3 to 4 years. Yes, the other one, if she falls sick and get out of it for some years and go back to that sickness again, whether she likes it or not. So in this particular case now, she's going to be like consistent for the next 4 years, depending on how many children you want to have. If it's one child, it just once, like one off. If it's 2, probably 2 to 3 years. Okay? Do you understand? If it's 3, that's like 3 to 4 years. If it's 4, that's like 4 to 5 years. If it's 5, that's like 5 to 6 years. So you both should be thinking what you want to take your woman through. Apart from the finances. Apart from the economic crunch of your country or your environment. So, but the issue is that when she has them, as quickly as possible, like I said, the old children will grow up together like you are having a twin. They are not twins, right? But their cases are just going to be like, if you go and find out from parent that has twins, they'll be able to advise you a lot on how to go about it and what you should be expecting. Your case is just going to be like that. Your first child is not going to be able to help you like the other method I said, spacing children. You and your husband will be the one to face the music here. Because mind you, that first child here is as naive as the baby you just brought. So if you just want to punish the little boy or girl here, that's when you'll be sending her errand with confusion. Do you understand now? So having first child and then another 3 months you get pregnant again to have the second one. 1 year in between those children. If there are 2, 1 year between, or 3, there are 1 year in between them. You see what will happen? They will all grow up together. Push one another. The older one will be seeing that, the second child will be, not seeing our older ones older. He wants to give him bumper to bumper. And because of that gingers the firstborn not to be slow at all. It's not going to be slow. It's going to be, all out there want to take over. And then the second one will not take it easy. So if there's any third as well, we do the same thing. So all of them will just grow up together. You will go through the pain at once, and they will grow to help each other like triplets or like twins, and then helping each other to grow, and then you grow with it, with the heavily support of your partner. Yes. Otherwise, that woman will start developing what they call, I think they call it trauma, kind of, whatever trauma is being called. So the husband here must be able to understand his wife and be able to go all out there to help at all means possible. For the wife here not to, not to wallow in her pain. Remember, she has a career too. When you help, that's when she can pursue her career little by little, but not to put it stand still. Because in the next 1 or 2 years, possibility is there that what she can only do will be minimum in terms of pursuing her career. It will be minimum in terms of pursuing her career. She won't be able to pursue her career in the best way she should be able to pursue it. But guess what? She will be able to pursue that career as faster, as quickly than the other method. By the time she gets all her children into primary school now, eventually nursery and primary school, because all of them will just enter one after the year, like that. So in the next 2 years or 3 years, she will settle them into nursery, primary, and then she starts increasing, building a career, to 50%. Before it might be 20%, then building it to 50%. And by the time they go through that primary school, she will be able to increase it to 60%. And before you know it, it will just be getting better and better and better. Unlike someone who is just going into the career, coming out, going in, coming out, which is the other method, and drag for too many years. All of these children, you just see them get into uni virtually every year, and before you know it, just are now maximum of 20 years. That's it.